Hey everyone, how's it going? Dr. Ironbat Prime 2.0, aka Noah, back again with this new video. And this is a video that I'd like to talk about, and it's a look back video. And we are looking back on the series Wolverine and the X-Men. Now, after I watched X-Men 97 and with the X-Men on their way to the MCU and Deadpool and Wolverine coming soon, this would be a perfect time for me to jump on to just talk about this series as a whole. And I actually went back and rewatched it to make this video and to make it happen, and just to talk some X-Men because, well, that's been on my mind a lot lately. But let's talk about this series. Let's talk about Wolverine and the X-Men. Now, the X-Men have like a small handful of cartoons over the years. I mean, sure, they have, a long list of movies on the big screen, but a small handful of animated shows. Yes, of course, that is true. But in my opinion, what is this show like? I mean, this is an X-Men cartoon that's, that's very different from like the 90s cartoon and a couple of other cartoons. I mean, it was created back in 2009, and, well, I think we all know what happened in 2009. Yeah, that X-Men movie came out. But yeah, besides that, I mean, the show's overall good. It's enjoyable. It had some good moments and had some dark moments. I'll admit, it's very different than other X-Men cartoons because, I mean, there's a lot of different things. I mean, the casting, that's something I want to talk about. I think the casting was just overall good, enjoyable, and these are like real deal voice actors. I mean, we have Steve Blum voicing Logan, aka Wolverine. We have Nolan North voicing Cyclops. We had Tom Kane voice Magneto. We had Carrie Walgren as Emma Frost. Yuri Lothan, aka Spider-Man from PS4 games, as Iceman. And even Clancy Brown, who voiced Mr. Sinister. Again, we have a perfect cast. I mean, you need real deal voice actors for like a show like this, and for any kind of show like this, because, well, again, real deal voice actors, and sure, they're not 100% exactly like the 90s cartoon, but they're good, they're enjoyable. Some of these are even voice actors that like I would picture in my head, like when I read their dialogues in comic books, and they work very well. I mean, heck, again, not bad for 2009 of a voice cast. And the series itself is just overall fun and good. I mean, there are some dark moments, yes, but that's mainly due to the storyline that it has. So in a way of saying it, on the storyline, we're way past like the beginning, so it's not an origin story. Like, their origin must have happened a decade ago. So we're way past, like, they're familiar with each other, they know each other, but something bad happens with Charles Xavier, and, well, they're put on the path to, like, something that's related to Days of Future Past. So we're kind of sort of on that storyline, but they also sprinkled in a little bit of, like, the Dark Phoenix, because that's kind of sort of what's happened to Jean Grey. I mean, they do throw in a little bit of some Wolverine storylines. And that's the main title of what the series is, Wolverine and the X-Men. Because, I mean, sure, they kind of sort of cramped in a whole lot of Wolverine stuff, and it's kind of sort of his own series, because he's leading the team and he's the leader. They throw in, like, some elements of, like, his origin, which is comic accurate. But also, when you think about it, 9 times out of 10, it's always, like, Charles Xavier and or Cyclops leading the X-Men. So yeah, what they did was very different. I mean, it rarely happens, but yes, Wolverine is the leader. He is the Optimus Prime of this team now, but honestly, he just feels like he's not up to it. He's not Charles Xavier. I mean, he tries his best, yeah, so yeah, at least he's trying. So I will give him credit for that because, again, he doesn't feel like a leader. He tries to be a leader, and he tries to comfort the other members of the team and tries to help out and, does what he can. And that's what a real hero is. They just do their best to help others, and that's his character. That's his story. And all the other characters, they're great. They're perfect. I mean, most of them are comic accurate and everything. I mean, there are some small things that I'm a bit iffy on, but I mean, but that's what makes this series a lot more different than, well, than the comics and the other cartoons and movies. Because as for what the other characters are like, I like how they make Hank McCoy a bit of a, well, like, second main character. We get to see Angel in this series a couple times, along with giving him an Archangel story, which was a bit more different than the comics. But we also got to see Rogue have a bit of a on and off relationship of like join the X-Men, join the Brotherhood of Mutants, even though that kind of sort of scrambled my head if she's a good guy or not. Emma Frost had a bit of a storyline. I mean, she's pretty much come and go in the comic books, but in the show, they gave her a role. And they even made Cyclops a bit of like the same definition as James Marsden. Well, let's just say, well, he was a bit sad and mopey. I mean, I get that he was just struggling through, well, the loss of Jean Grey, but that's just what the showrunners wanted, and that's kind of sort of what Cyclops is like when he, well, doesn't have Jean by his side. But hey, that's what made this story a bit dark and brooding a couple times here and there, which is kind of sort of what the X-Men are about. But yeah, I guess I can understand the changes that they want to make, and they didn't want to just copycat other shows and copycat the comic books. I mean, the comic books are literally the blueprints to like animated shows, big screen movies. But hey, I mean, I understand that they are just doing their best to just, to just make this a very interesting story. I mean, one thing I will get off my chest that's a bit of, like a disappointment was that this show only got one season. So there were plans for like, I don't know, like maybe 3 or 4 seasons for this show to have, but unfortunately season 2 just wasn't happening. Like, full honesty, due to like funding reasons for falling through, and also financial reasons. Yeah, season 2 was being planned out, but unfortunately, yeah, it just couldn't get off the ground, and apparently they had to just cut corners here and there, and they just had to just cancel the show. So yeah, season 2 is planned out, but due to everything that happened behind the scenes and backlash a little bit, yeah, it just wasn't able to get a second season. So full honesty, I would have wanted to see a season 2 because they got the team back together here and there, and the main villain of season 2 would have been Apocalypse, and well, they kind of sort of revealed him at the end of season 1. But another thing that would have happened, we would have seen other members of the team. We would have gotten more characters, and they were gonna just kick it up a notch on everything. I mean, we would have gotten characters like Jubilee, Cable, the return of Colossus, and heck, even Deadpool would have been in it. Yeah, there were plans for all those characters to be in this series, but again, due to everything that happened in behind the scenes, season 2 just wasn't able to happen. But in my opinion, full honesty, I will admit, this show, I mean, it may not be my favorite, it may not be number 1, and it's not the best show since like the 90s X-Men cartoon or even Batman the Animated Series, but I still feel like it deserved a lot more potential. I think it deserved props. I think this show, I mean, they literally could have pulled through. I mean, we could have seen a whole lot more with a second season. But hey, I mean, if Disney and Marvel were able to bring back the 90s cartoon for like a new season / X-Men 97, heck, I mean, I would love to see them bring this show back from the dead. I mean, understanding that it would take some time, but still, I would have wanted to see like a second season. I would have wanted to see where this story goes, or even just continue as a comic. I would have been okay with that. I mean, I know it's a lot to ask for, but come on. Now, I understand that all the creators and casting and everyone that worked on this series has gone on to new projects and done new things, or heck, if they're retired or busy with Comic-Cons, understanding. But I would have wanted to see a second season, so Disney, Marvel, if it's possible, I would love to see the return of this show. I mean, understanding that season 2 of X-Men 97 is coming, but hey, if y'all got time, then do the same with this show. I mean, I already said that in my review of X-Men 97 not too long ago, but hey, this show definitely deserves a second season. It deserves to be revived, and just like other shows here and there. So, if you haven't already, yeah, just give this show a watch. I mean, that there's a lot of good character development, good story. Again, it may have a few down things here and there, but it's fun, it's enjoyable. If you're an X-Men fan, then it's definitely worth a watch and worth jumping onto. And if you guys want to watch Wolverine the X-Men, it is on Disney Plus. Highly recommend checking it out if you are in any way of an X-Men fan or Marvel fan or want to watch something new. Then it is right up your alley to watch, enjoy, repeat. And well, just to wrap it up on this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed already by hitting subscribe down there, along with hitting the bell, hitting the comments, and hit the thumbs up. That would be very supportive. I would love if you guys did that for me. But also don't forget to follow me on all my social media stuff. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, follow me on TikTok. All my social media names are right here, so follow me. I just might follow you guys right back at you. But till next time, guys, this is, well, the Doc, Iron Bat Prime 2.0, out and about, and catch you bubs later in my next video.